Good morning and welcome to another day aboard my life. Now what I love most of all in this world is that as soon as I wake up, I've got jobs to do. So I've gone up, engine is on, boil the kettle for a cup of tea. Now what I've got to do, I've got to empty the soot and get some more coal out for the fire so I don't freeze to death. And Leela's gone off to my parents for a couple of nights because she hates it when I clean the boat, especially mop or brush the boat. So and also it's to give her a little bit of respite from narrowboat living. In addition, she has a lovely time at her nan and granddad's, and it gives me some time to not be so distracted because she is with me 24/7 and she follows me everywhere. You'd be shocked how dirty this place gets, you really would be. And Leela being long haired, it's a nightmare. I've got hair on my cooker. And I'm probably going to find hair in my cup of tea. So today is about transforming some spaces of the boat. Lovely. Jobs. We're making a lovely bit of toast. I got carried away with writing last night, and I think I had a few too many glasses of wine. I was getting excited about what I was writing about. So I want egg on toast, scrambled egg on toast, because they say eggs help a hangover. Not that I have a hangover. I don't. Don't be cheeky. I do not have a hangover. I think it's about time to take this Christmas stuff down now, isn't it? It's January 2023, it'll start. This coal I got the other day has been fantastic. I know there's nothing there now, but I only put a few on last night and it's still going, kind of. The fan's still going in any case. On top of that, as the engine is charging, I've plugged in this little portable battery thing. Because I don't like running my inverter to switch my laptop on, so it will. Are you actually charging? Are you charging, Babs? It says it is. Where is it? There it is. It says it is. Let's hope it's not bloody lying to me. You know what? Jackery are the loveliest company. They sent me one of these as well during the summer, but I like to see, I don't like to give a review straight away. I like to see how it works, you know. But the plug sockets wouldn't work on my laptop. It did work perfectly at some point, and then they just stopped working. So I, you know, charge it up, and I just use this as an extra battery bank for this one. Don't ask me why this is able to charge that up and not my laptop. I use these cables. It's just too complicated this morning. Test burning! Do not burn. You're done. I'm gonna have some eggs and toast. Because that's what I desire the most. Using fried lights, even though I like olive oil, cause I've got nothing left. Delicious. Beep, 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 beep. Ah! You are chosen! I'm sorry, the drinks guy. Do you want scrambled or fried? Do you want scrambled or fried? I don't know, it's too late to make a decision. I'm gonna have fries. Delicious. I don't know why I'm in a good mood today. I've got no business being in a good mood. I should actually be very, very stressed. Why should you be stressed, Lizbef? Oh, you know, life, bills. That is all. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes I see other boating channels do boat life, canal boat life, whatever. And sometimes I get really jealous. But it's not from a romantic standpoint at all. It's more like a labour standpoint. The fact that you get to share the labour 50%. Whilst I'm making the breakfast, he or she could have been making this bloody fire by now. If fire could have been done. But now I've got to do that after this. And then I've got to go check the bilges, check the engine, sweep the leaves off the roof, fill the coal bucket. And that's on top of full-time living. Come on, Eggy. I'm hungry. And do not let me down. I'd honestly love to show you a beautiful looking tidy boat, make it look all lovely and aesthetic and pleasing, but you know what, the reality is that that's just, well, it's just not the reality of what my boat life is like at the moment. There's bloody soot everywhere, random tools, and a sock. Look at this, I need to sweep this. Well, we're gonna get cracking on today, aren't we? Get my Kindle in. Ooh. Bing bam boom, done. So I know it's difficult to think that you can improve on perfection, but that's what we're gonna do, okay? One of the things about living on a boat is that ethical, as you like to look nice, and I'm not meeting anyone today. I'm not going to see anyone, but I'm going to do it for myself because I like catching my visage in the mirror and be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, and this episode is about transforming spaces, so how about transforming faces? Also, as a girl on a boat, there is no reason why you can't enjoy the things that you enjoy in a house. Fair enough, showers are restricted. Fair enough, you will be filthy most of the time, and there's no point in buying anything new because it's going to get covered in coal anyway. And no, ironing is an absolute nightmare on a boat. Why would you do it? It's a massive waste of time. I don't know why anyone does. But does it mean you can't put on some red lippy, do your hair and feel marvellous? I can't do my hair because, you know, the water rations, and I'd have to like switch on the engine back again to like curl my hair. So I'm just going to treat myself and brush it. What I'm saying is, if you're living a bit rough, the most important thing is to do what you can to make yourself feel as good as possible. If you have to cut back on like the luxuries such as frequent showers, then wear something that makes you feel nice. Doesn't matter that it's covered in coal, still makes you feel nice. Paint your nails to cover the soot and oil that you can't seem to get out. I don't know if I have black nail polish. And huzzah! Look at this. Look at this. I didn't know it was possible to improve perfection, but here we have yet another miracle on Maggie. Once again, today is about transforming, but I'm not gonna lie and show you perfection because perfection doesn't exist. So this is my bedroom. Wow, wow, wow. This is a different sort of bunny than you expected to find in my bed. Currently charging my GoPro. My nan's cardigan and a lovely view. Some throat lozenges from when I was sick the other week. A solar panel that I attempted to fit up to my window to charge my phone, but it didn't work, and I haven't been bothered to untie it because I did not. This is where Leela sleeps. So I have this single duvet cover that I put on top for her because it gets very cold, and then I put a blanket on top of her. That's what makes it look messy. There's just an empty bag there in a box, so I've been sorting out my clothes over the past couple of days. But the question is, what am I going to wear? I don't know. Shall we wear bra today? Well, I suppose we should treat the people. Ugh. Women, do you feel me? The best thing that's ever happened to you when you come home from work is taking that bloody thing off. Oh, let's wear a clean pair of pants, Elizabeth, shall we? Oh, bigger the better. Right. I thought I mood reading today. What we're going to wear? What am I going to wear? Well. Not nice. Just that usual nice. Right, we've got one Hobbit t-shirt. Yeah, it's green. Did you think you were going to get to see the goods? Don't be bloody naughty. Alright, well, it's not London Fashion Week. Oh, shall we top it off with me nan's cardigan, eh? Let's top it off. You guessed it. Whew. I'm going to put my favourite perfume, Ghost Deep Night. And a boat girl is never fully prepared without dry shampoo. And there we are. Beauty. Okay, here is the mess of this bed. I'm gonna get it sorted. Ow! Ow! Bitch. I really do feel like the worst task of household stuff is making the bloody bed. Well, they've all got dog hair on, Elizabeth. Ugh. Ow! I suppose if I did have to share labour about this bed and I was part of a couple, I'd have to share the bloody bed. And I'd rather not. The idea of sleeping next to someone forever having barely any space, putting up with someone snoring or tossing and turning and murmuring and... I don't even sleep with Leela next to me. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Let's try and make it look a bit nicer, shall we? It's a painting I did earlier. Oh. Alright, well. I don't know how you make a bed look nice, but there we go. It's time. Oh. So what I'll be doing with that is I'll be replanting it. So it's not a waste then. Not now, I need a cup of tea now. Now this space looks a bit scruffy now, so I think it's only right to give her a good spruce up. What are you doing, Liz? Well, because it's winter, I do enjoy a hot water bottle. Unfortunately, they do use one of my most precious commodities, and that is water. So what I do, when I finished with the hot water bottles, I have these 2 spare 5-litre bottles. What I'll do... let's pour it back in. So I'll use this water specifically for cleaning. So I've been planning on cleaning my engine, but I don't want to use, it's not like an essential thing that I need to do now. That's more like a luxury job for me to do. So I'd rather have this water set aside for it. Are you being quite stingy with water, Lizbef, considering that you've got 700 litres of water? Yes! Yes, I am. It's good to be prepared. Now, if I don't use it for my engine, then I'll use it for washing up. Right, I really don't want to do any more cleaning. I've still got a load of work I need to do, but... bedroom looks nice. I've got to sort out somewhere to put Leela's bed when it gets a bit warmer. I've got to find somewhere to store that. Then tomorrow I want to sort out these shelves. But I've got somewhere nice and fresh to sleep. In terms of the kitchen, I have some washing up to do tomorrow. It's a small space, so if there's a couple of things out, it looks really messy. I've already got some rubbish piling up. You do not want to see this hallway, so the lounge is looking a lot better. fire going. Lovely. But tomorrow I still have this to sort out. I've got some pictures to put up. And I've got this desk to sort out. Wow, what a bloody day it's been. It's been productive in the sense of cleaning out the boat, getting rid of a load of rubbish, sorting out room by room, which is what I'd like to do for January, to put myself in the best stead to be as productive as possible. So you've seen a little bit how I genuinely live on the boat. Like I say, I always like to give a realistic account. I don't want to show you a false account where everything's beautiful and I keep going on about how lovely and tranquil things are, because it's a small space and I've got a lot of stuff. And so I would like to celebrate the end of a successful day with a little bit of wine. Shall we amend that statement? There's no such thing as a little bit. There we go. I've got this fantastic book called Crime on the Canals by Anthony Poulton Smith. It's absolutely fantastic. Inside are numerous cases that have happened in the canals, from theft to murder to speeding to arguing. And the crimes here are from the 1830s to the 1950s, 1960s. But I'd like to read to you the case from 1873 of Lizbef Lauk. Lizbef Lauk died in October 1873 at the tender age of 7. She had been aboard a vessel under boatman Frederick Musson, accompanied by Anna Hillman. Brought to Stafford County in December, the sad story of this young girl's death unfolded. Aldersley Junction opened in 1772 and allowed movement between the Birmingham Canal network and the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal. Lying at the bottom of a flight known as the Wolverhampton 21 Locks, it had been a vitally important link in the network. On 30th of October 1873, one of the many boats arrived and moored up. As it was quite late in the day, Frederick Musson wasted no time in unhitching the horse and walking it around to the stables, where he groomed and fed the animal himself. The late arrival was something of an indication of the distance travelled that day, and the horse was rewarded for its hard work. Meanwhile, dinner was being prepared by Anna Hillman. Much is said about the overcrowding on these boats. We hear of families numbering double figures living in the confines of a tiny cabin. This is quite untrue, although boats may have housed as many as 6, 2 adults and 4 children, assuming they were young enough. However, until boatmen were paid a decent wage to enable their families to rent a house, they were forced to live in cramped conditions. When numbers became too great, it was commonplace to ask other boatmen for help. These children were expected to pay for their keep themselves by working on the boat. Sadly, many were treated badly. Several craft were moored up for the night at Aldersley, and after eating, the boatmen and women began to filter away to a nearby public house. This included Musson and Hillman, leaving Lizbef Lauk alone on the boat. The girl's appearance had been noted by a number of other boaters. Wearing only an ill-fitting skirt, she appeared emaciated and sickly. When Hillman returned to the boat at around 8 p.m, accompanied by a neighbouring boatman called Tom Mander, they noticed an unpleasant smell coming from the boat, which Hillman blamed on the girl. To Mander's distress, Hillman began to beat and whip the poor girl, who was now wearing night attire, as she lay on the floor, having soiled herself. Next, she dragged Lizbef from the boat by her hair and, ignoring Mander's pleas for her to stop, yelled how "the little shit is always doing it." By the time Mander moved away, Hillman had removed the child's clothing and had left her standing naked. Tom Mander and his family listened to her heartbreaking sobbing until they felt like they had to intervene. Mary Mander, Tom's mother, appealed for mercy, and Hillman agreed, but said she could not speak for Fred, who had threatened to kill her and toss her into the cut on several occasions. Mrs. Mander helped to clean the soiled child and put her to bed, asking she not tell Musson what had happened. When Musson returned, as ever the worse for drink, he hit Lizbef hard with the stock of his whip and fell straight into bed and into a deep sleep. It's not the sort of nighttime story I should be telling. The next morning, they found the girl still in her bed and discovered she was cold to the touch. Lizbef Lauk's miserable existence had ended the previous night. Realising they should report this, Anna Hillman encouraged Musson to summon assistance. He found an official from the company offices, Charles Millington, and said they had found her dead as they were making ready to leave. A likely story. Mr. Millington inquired as to how the bruising around her eye happened, but they told him it had been the result of a fall in the cabin. Realising this needed the authorities, both men left to find a doctor and a policeman. When P.C. Clayton and Sergeant Billett returned with Millington just over an hour later, the clerk noticed the corpse had been washed and evidence of bruising was all over the frail figure. Hillman told the police the bruises were the result of being trodden on by the horse. Officers also discovered an apron, covered in blood, hidden in the cabin. Mr. John Cook, surgeon, examined the body, and his subsequent evidence showed the bruising could never come from the hooves of a horse. However, they were consistent with the beating from the stock of a whip, which they had been found aboard the boat. Examinations revealed numerous cuts and bruises, although the internal organs were healthy. Cause of death had been a layer of coagulated blood at the side of her head, which would initially have made the deceased comatose, with death following within a few hours. In his opinion, the fatal blow had been delivered inside the last 24 hours. After the evidence had been produced in court on the 8th of December, the prosecution spoke of how Lizbef had been a healthy child when her father had asked the accused to take care of his daughter. He went on to speak of witnesses seeing Musson strike the girl with the stock of his whip on a number of occasions. He conceded the man probably had no intention of killing her, but kill her he most certainly did. The defence counsel argued that there had been no evidence to suggest the accused had done anything more than scold a clearly difficult child. Indeed, this was undoubtedly the main reason Mr. Lauk had rid himself of the burden of raising her. In their defence, he maintained their only crime had been a mistaken idea of what constituted punishment for a child who persisted in repeatedly fouling the cramped living quarters when she was quite capable of using the toilet facilities available. Following the judge's summoning up, paying particular attention to the difference between murder and manslaughter, the jury retired for just 30 minutes before delivering a verdict of guilty on a charge of manslaughter. Jurors were also keen to criticise the father for his awful choice of care, stating he was not entirely blameless in this sad case. Both seemed relieved the verdict had not been murder, which would have carried a death sentence, but their freedom was effectively ended by the sentence of 20 years for each. While Musson had undoubtedly delivered the fatal blow, the judge considered Hillman equally to blame, as she had promised Mrs. Munder should cease the beatings. That's Crime on the Canals by Anthony Poulton Smith. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a like, subscribe, and leave a little comment if you like. If you'd doubly like to support this very strange adventure of living on a 1920s boat, you can also join as a patron. You can follow on Instagram, and I even have an option where you can tip for a cup of tea if you so wish. During the winter, the tip for a cup of tea will go on tea bags, but it will also go on coal and treats for Leela. Thank you so much for your love and support. I've really been enjoying doing these videos so far, and I've only got 5 weeks left until the history tour begins. At the moment I'm in Warwickshire and stuff is happening. So from me and Charlie, all the best. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.